This upcoming Saturday, May 20th on ESPN Plus pay-per-view, you got Devin Haney against Vasiliy Lomachenko. Undisputed matchup. Devin Haney defending his titles against Lomachenko. But before we get into that, we're all takes, no whiffs. I'm Christian. That's Alex. And Devin Haney versus Vasiliy Lomachenko. But before we get into that, you got another really good matchup on this card. You got Andrew Moloney up against Junto Nakatani for the vacant WBO junior bantamweight title. And it's pretty dope to see the other Moloney brother challenging for another WBO vacant title. My only thing is the opponent in this matchup, a lot better. No offense to Astrolabio from last week, but Junto Nakatani, he's a problem.
Oh yeah, and I'm sorry to all our Australian fans, but Nakatani, he's a different animal in this fight. I think he's a couple levels above Moloney. I still do think Andrew Moloney is pretty good. I definitely think Jason Moloney is the better of the two, but this is just a different beast he's going up against compared to his brother.
Yeah, Junto Nakatani, honestly, he's an electric fighter out of Japan. And my thing is with him is obviously he's not like on the level of Inoue, but like he kind of reminds me of Inoue, like with just how crisp his punches are. Not to that level, of course, but like that's just one of
Power in both hands too.
That's just some of the standout things about him. And it's just, obviously look at his record: 18 knockouts out of 24 victories. And yeah, when it comes to Andrew Moloney right here, I hate to say it, I'm kind of getting some Inoue versus Jason Moloney vibes from this fight.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I mean, I definitely think that this is going to be a stoppage in Nakatani's favor. I don't know if it's going to be that bad. I hope it's not, to be honest, but I definitely think that I'm with you. I think Nakatani is probably going to stop him.
I think it's just going to come down to, as you said, insane power in both hands. And he's more athletic than Moloney. I know Moloney, he's a pretty solid boxer technically, but I think Nakatani is a better boxer technically with way more power.
Way more power.
So it's just going to be a bad time for Moloney, all due respect. And as Alex said, stoppage for Nakatani. That's what I'm guessing as well. And I'm going to guess it's going to be, I think it's going to be the type of stoppage where Moloney's going to get worn down because he's going to be not on his bicycle, but he's going to be light on his feet moving around. And it's going to be up to Nakatani to slow him down with some body work. I think is going to be the way he's going to go. And he's just going to get him out of there, in my opinion, about round 10. I'm going to do a round 10 knockout for Nakatani.
Okay, I can see that, wearing him down. I'll go round 8 knockout for Nakatani for this. I think that's reasonable for this fight.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be in the later half. Like I know I said that it's going to be Inoue, Jason Moloney vibes. It's not going to be to that extent, as Alex said, but I do think it's going to be domination in Nakatani's favor.
Yeah, honestly, it's what it's looking like. It's going to be some domination for Nakatani. It's what we definitely think it's going to be. But if you've also been enjoying our videos, any of our recaps, boxing previews, baseball, or any videos that we've been dropping, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Also, hit that like button too. It means more than you think. It also does more for us than you think too. So we're also closing in on 100 subscribers. So once we reach 100 subscribers, we're doing a $100 giveaway. So make sure that subscribe button so you get a chance to win that.
Oh yeah, and if you win that, that's a free pay-per-view and some drinks for Loma versus Devin Haney if you guys get this done soon. So we appreciate y'all. Let's see this happen this week.
And we appreciate all the support.
Exactly. Been a fun journey. Loving what we're doing, covering the sports that we love, but it's time. The undisputed fight that we were getting into, Devin Haney versus Vasiliy Lomachenko. We made our fighter profiles already, got into these fighters on an individual level. Now it's time for the matchup, how these two styles clash and everything. Stylistically, this is about to be a really good fight. I know a lot of people are of the opinion that Devin Haney is the cause for some snooze fest. I think Lomachenko's style is going to prevent that from being a snooze fest, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, these are two really, really fun styles, to be honest. I wouldn't say fun for Devin Haney because his fights can be pretty boring, but I think Lomachenko, like you said, is going to make Devin Haney fight a different style that we've seen. He's going to put some pressure on him, and really, I really think Lomachenko is going to bring it to him. I think that if Lomachenko has any chance in this fight, he's got to come out early, and he's got to come out strong because not last fight, but against Teofimo Lopez, he just took way too long to come out.
I see what you're saying, but to be honest, the way that I'm thinking about it now, yeah, coming out early would definitely be effective against Devin Haney. But Lomachenko's very technical, even though he's a pressure fighter in himself, to be honest. I could see him trying to find an opening as hard as it may be against Devin, because I think Lomachenko, what he excels at with his angles, as long as he's not feeling too old and he
Yeah.
can get those angles working well, I think that's something that Devin Haney has never dealt with. You can't say there's many fighters who have dealt with a style like Lomachenko when it's on top, when he's on top of his game. So
The way he gets
that,
some of those angles too is kind of crazy.
exactly. So I see what you're saying for sure, that he needs to get going earlier because he didn't against Tiafimo, and that really came back to bite him. But with Devin, I could kind of see. I could see Loma's experience with his style, with his own style. I can see that maybe giving Loma momentum later in the fight too, because at the same, like, the thing is, if Loma doesn't figure Devin out early,
And that's
he's not
where
gonna
I was
figure him
kind of
out. So I see what
that's
you're
where I
saying
was
for
kind
sure.
of going with it, because he's got to, if he doesn't figure him out early, he's not going to figure him out later in the fight, and Haney's just going to use that jab the entire time just to keep him
Mhm.
away. That's another thing too, is the height and the reach. I think that's going to be a big factor in this fight.
Yeah, and uh, I see what I mostly agree with that point, but the thing is, I think Loma does have a chance of turning on a switch later in the fight, because we know he's got that extra umph in the tank. He always does. Loma. The thing about Loma is he's just as active in the eighth, ninth round as he is in, or
He's got a
honestly, more
gas tank
active than he
on
is in
him.
the beginning rounds.
Yeah,
So
he's got a real good gas tank on
yeah,
him.
he's not going to gas against Devin Haney. So he's going to go out putting up a fight for sure, in my opinion. And Haney doesn't really have the power to punish him for trying to put up a fight like that. So this is interesting in my eyes. I can't really say for sure. I do think there's a safe route to pick, but then there's so many different potential different results to this fight, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, so I mean, we've talked a little bit about Loma then. So what about Haney? Like, what do you think he's got to do then?
Haney needs to utilize, like you mentioned, his size and reach advantage, his jab. But honestly, I think Haney needs to turn it up a little. Loma's going to be bringing it. So I think Haney is either going to have to box a super clean technical fight, which I don't know if he's going to be doing that, because Haney kind of, he's not that he's flat footed, but he's not like just bouncing on his feet all the time, moving
Mm-hmm.
too much around the ring. He gets set in a lot of positions. So if he's gonna sit and exchange with Loma like that, I think he's got to be on top of him to shit. Excuse my language, but also I just think that I think he's got to bring the power. To be honest, I think he's got to bring something that Loma's got to respect in that sense as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think that Haney may show a little more power in this, because I think he's gonna have a little more output than he usually does. He's gonna have to throw some more punches to win this fight, because
Yeah.
Lomachenko, his output, it's gonna be up there in this fight. Lomachenko doesn't, he's not one of those guys who just picks when he wants to punch like Haney does.
Hmm. Yeah, even if it's punches like he's just tapping the guy, he's gonna be throwing, like, even if it's to set up or distract his opponent. Loma's definitely going to be throwing punches and bunches, as you said. So Haney, more output. Honestly, I think Haney's going to he's going to have to be quick and light on his feet, and Haney's just going to have to bring it. Not that I think he can go the safe route if he really wanted to, just utilizing his reach and the jab the whole time. But the thing is, I don't know if that's going to work for against Loma the whole time. He could take that risk. That's the thing. There's a risk in playing it safe against Loma right here. So Haney's gonna. I think he's just gonna have to bring some other dimensions, just like Loma's gonna have to. With all this in mind, though, Alex, it's time. Time to drop your predictions. It's hard to drop a prediction for this fight. There's a lot on the line.
Well, it's not
What do
even
you got?
that. I really, really like both of these guys as
Mm-hmm.
fighters too. Like, I like Lomachenko. I wouldn't say this is one of like the first guys I ever watched, but it was like when my dad kind of got me into boxing. This is one of the first guys he showed me, and I'm glad he did, because he had a
Mm-hmm.
great amateur career and everything. But kind of, this is so tough to pick, to be honest. But I think I'm gonna go with the safe route. I think Devin Haney in a decision. I don't think that there's going to be a stoppage in this fight. I don't think Haney possesses the power for that, to be honest, unless he kind of surprises me. And I really don't see Lomachenko landing something that's going to really, really disrupt Haney that much and put him out. Really haven't seen that either. But I think Devin Haney is going to get this in a close unanimous decision, though.
I'm gonna have to agree. This is hard. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree, I guess. I just see Danny, Danny. I see
That's kind
Devin
of a cool
Haney.
name.
Yo, That should be his new nickname. I'm just saying. But Devin Haney, I just see his youth, his athleticism, and honestly, his really solid boxing IQ for being as young as he is. I think that's going to be the difference in this fight. But at the same time, I feel like if Haney wants to get some power going, he's going to be sacrificing some speed. And
Hmm.
Loma is not necessarily fast, but he's really solid with his timing. So if Haney's sacrificing some speed to try to get some power in, that could play out to be something. Basically, I think Devin Haney is going to win this fight. I kind of want to see Loma win this fight. I want to see Loma win this fight because, in my opinion, Loma is a Hall of Fame fighter. I think he's
Oh
already
yeah.
secured that with records he's broken. But this would be like a really like a cherry on top type of thing. I do think Loma is, especially after the being away from boxing with the whole situation with Ukraine. I do think he's going to be leaving the sport soon. I would not be surprised if Loma retires soon. So I would love to see him finally get undisputed at lightweight. And I'm a big fan of Devin Haney at the same time, too. I would love to see him win this fight. This would be a huge name on the path to a Hall of Fame career for Devin Haney, which I think is inevitable. But yeah, I'm going Devin Haney. I would like to see a Loma win. I would like to see a Devin Haney win just as much, though. I'm excited for this, but my mind is telling me Devin Haney.
No, yeah, and that's probably the safe bet too. But I mean, this is honestly going to be a really, really good card too. The undercard's got some solid names on it. Nico Ali Walsh will be returning to the ring. He's been pretty active this year and last year. Hopefully, he can get himself another knockout. Oscar Valdez is also going to be fighting Adam Lopez. That should actually be a really, really good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those guys are solid too. But I'm really looking forward to this card overall in general. It's got about 5 or 6 solid fights.
Yeah, Top Rank doing their thing. That's the thing I like about Top Rank. They get their prospects on the right card, so it's like it's usually a more than just one fight to keep an eye out for. Top Rank is bringing it once again, but one of the biggest fights in 2023 coming up this weekend, May 20th, pay-per-view on ESPN. Top Rank, I know they come through with the free stuff all the time, but not this time. But you got to do what you got to do sometimes. When it's a fight like this, I don't mind.
Got to make
But
their money.
I want to see these guys get paid, and pay per view is just part of that when it comes to these mega fights. But cannot wait to see Loma versus Haney. Really cannot wait to see that. But until then, peace.
Peace.